trillion naira at the end of December 2018.
Senior Democrats have responded by accusing him of committing a gross offense.
The All Progressives Congress has vowed to punish the Ogun State Governor, Ibikunle Amosu.
Hello, welcome. This is Celebration TV News Desk, and I am Femi Marks. First, we'll begin with the local news. Omega Farm Ministries International Women's Conference. Bono donates Bison Forest for Ruga. And then from the foreign scene, Hong Kong protests. Trump suggests personal meeting with Chinese president. Please stay with us. We'll give you details after the short break. Come back now to local news. Omega Farm Ministries International Women's Conference. Omega Farm Ministries International Women Conference is on again. It is that time of the year when women come from different parts of Nigeria, Africa, and the world for an encounter with divinity. The International Women Conference is spearheaded by God's servant, the dynamic mother and the wife to the Restoration Apostle, Dr. Lisa Johnson Suleiman. The conference, which is set to run from 14 to 16 August, began in grand style with the very first International Women Conference live studio session on Celebration TV. The live studio session was hosted and anchored by women themselves as they enlightened the viewers on the need for the conference and the benefit that every woman will get by participating in the conference. This year's International Women's Conference 2019 has a theme because of the anointing. The first session of the conference began with presentations from women who came from different parts of Nigeria and Africa as they showcased talent in some dance presentation. It was in that same atmosphere that the dynamic model, the Dr. Lizzie Johnson Suleiman, brought forth the word of God in a message titled Because of the Anointing, which was followed by a heavy manifestation of God's power, resulting in healings, miracles, and above all, the salvation of souls. The second day of the conference began very early with sports activities of the dynamic model. Dr. Lizzie Johnson Suleiman led the women in some body fitness. We apologize for that. And still on local news, Bruno donates Bison Forest for Ruga. Bruno State Governor Babagana Zulum has donated part of the Bison Forest. Boko Haram said stronghold to the federal government for the Rural Grazing Area Program. According to the cable, Zulum announced the donation when the Sheikh of Bono, Elijah Gamba El-Kanemi, visited him at the government house, Maiduguri, during Salah. He said the Nigerian Security and Civil Defense Corps, agro rangers, and hunters had been mobilized to secure the area. Zulum said they have identified 6 different locations they consider safe for the pilot scheme in the state. He also said that the Ruga scheme is as old as history. It is not a new thing and doesn't know why some people politicize in it. This administration is determined to strengthen the security architecture to encourage farming and herding activities across the state. The governor said the government will provide 80 patrol vehicles to boost security in the state. Meanwhile, Zulum said the recent Boko Haram attacks on Gajiram and Gajigana, Dalori, and Gubio will not discourage the people. He said his government was more committed than ever before to take on the insurgent and ensure peace in the state. The governor said this on Wednesday during the official launch of the NSCDC Agro Rangers Squad. The Assistant Commander General of NSCDC, Augustine Obiekwe, who represented the Commander General of the Corps, said Agro Rangers will be deployed all over the country to protect agricultural resources. And still from the local scene, Anambra market leader arrested for alleged cop killings. The leader of the Awka Central Market in Anambra State, Emeka Agumadu, popularly known as Baby Awka, has been arrested by the State Police Command in a statement by the command's public relations officer, Haruna Muhammad. On Wednesday, Agumadu was arrested for allegedly sponsoring court-related killings in the area. Muhammad said the command commissioner of police in the state, John Abeng, led the team that arrested the market leader and 3 others. The PRO said that PB Awka, who is the high chief in Awka, was arrested on Tuesday. The statement read partly. Recorded on August 10 and 11, 2019, there was a clash between 2 rival cult groups, the Black Hawks and the Vikings confraternities at Ekoka and DK Park, all in Awka South local government area of Anambra State, where one Chinedu, surname yet unknown, alias Nambo, and Huchi Anaro were brutally murdered. Following the incident and while acting on credible intelligence, the command's of other operatives led by the Commissioner of Police, John Abeng, on August 13, 2019, at about 4:20 p.m., launched a manhunt for the Hulam at Dike Park and Humokwa village areas of Awka and arrested 4 suspected sponsors and members of Blackers and Vikings confraternities. He gave names of arrested as Prince Colin Ozijofo, Okechukwu Nwanike, Onwako Chukwuma, and Baby Awka. Mohammed said efforts were being intensified to track them and arrest all the fleeing gang members involved in the killings. And still in the local news, INT'L sponsor opens to Energy Academy. INT'L Energy, a subsidiary of INT'L Limited, has sponsored 10 teenagers from state-owned orphanages in Nigeria to participate in the 2019 Energy Training edition of Lagos Energy Academy. This year's edition, tagged Energy Star Summer Lab, according to the company, is focused on enlightening young visionaries on power and energy conservation. In a statement, INT'L described as the Energy Stars program as a Lagos Energy Academy initiative aimed at imparting secondary schools pupils on the necessities of energy efficiency and its conservation. Speaking at the event, Business Development Manager INT'L Energy, Kelechi Wumeri, said frequent and adequate sensitization for the youth of today's guarantees sustainable energy for the future. At all levels of education, the academic curriculum should remain and contain ample learning resources and information about the evolution of energy and futuristic benefits of cleaner renewable energy sources. By working with the Lagos Energy Academy, he said, we can contribute a quarter to building a generation that is aware of sustainable energy strategies, and we maximize the clean energy options. The training about renewable energy would help our children, who are the future energy consumers in Nigeria, to make informed energy choices to conserve the natural environment. The Chief Executive Officer of Lagos Energy Academy, Leki Adebolo, explained that the program was designed to help the youth in the society to recognize and maximize energy sources as well as develop an energy conservative attitude. And now on to the foreign scene. On protest, Trump suggests personal meeting with Chinese President. Phil Wickham hands of 4 GMA Dover Awards nominations. Please stay with us. Details ahead.
The city of Manchester is about to be renewed.
Any member of your family who is fighting your lifting, by the power of the Holy Spirit, I clear them out of the way.
And God sent forth his spirit for divine recreation through his servant Apostle Johnson Suleiman. Open Heavens 2019, 26th and 27th August. Anticipate.
You're welcome back. Hong Kong protest. Trump suggests personal meeting with Chinese president. U.S. President Donald Trump has suggested a personal meeting with Chinese President Xi Jinping to discuss the political crisis engulfing Hong Kong. In a tweet, Mr. Trump said he had zero doubt that Mr. Xi could humanly solve the Hong Kong problem. He also tied the protest to a U.S. trade deal with Beijing in the face of ongoing trade tensions. Of course, China wants to make a deal. Let them work humanely with Hong Kong first, he tweeted. Mr. Trump's comment come after weeks of tumultuous pro-democracy protests sparked by opposition to an extradition bill in Hong Kong. Critics fear the bill will bring Hong Kong more decisively under China's control. The bill has now been suspended, but the protests have evolved into a broader pro-democracy movement. Hong Kong is part of China under a one-country, two-system model that grants it a high level of autonomy. It has its own legal and judicial systems and enjoys certain freedom not seen in the mainland. Hong Kong and Macau, for example, are the only places in Chinese territory where people can hold vigils commemorating Tiananmen Square. And still from the foreign scene, Phil Wickham hands for GMA Dover Awards nomination. California-based contemporary Christian musician, singer, and songwriter Phil Wickham is celebrating 4 Gospel Music Association Award Dover Awards nomination for his August 2018 release, Living Hope, with the LP receiving a nomination for Worship Album of the Year. The title track was also nominated for Song of the Year, Worship Song of the Year, and Worship Recorded Song of the Year. The 58th annual GMA Dover Awards will take place on Tuesday, October 15 in Nashville, Tennessee, Trinity Broadcasting Network. We exclusively had the show on Sunday, October 20th. Voting for the final winners will run again August 21st through August 28th. Living Hope was largely inspired by Wickham's role at Harvest Bible Fellowship, leading worship and writing songs for the church community. He collaborated with 19 other songwriters on the project, a first for the artist who historically has not done much co-writing for his albums. Written with Bethel Music's Brian Johnson, the title track, Living Hope, boasts over 42 million streams and was a top 10 Billboard Christian radio hit, presently number 7 on the CCLI Top Song chart. Churches and worship groups are singing Living Hope across the U.S. and around the world. Additionally, Wickham made a special appearance in the acclaimed and also GMA Dover Award nominated film, Breakthrough. Performing his #1 hit, This Is Amazing Grace, the movie is up for Inspirational Film of the Year. And now on to business news. Falling oil price won't change our production, NNPC says, and the Senate frowns on the bailout fund for power sector. Join us again for the details.
Shout Jesus! An outpour of grace, clothed with power for the Great Commission. Touch! A season for harvest and restoration. Open Heavens Asaba 2019 with the Restoration Apostle Johnson Suleiman. 8th and 9th October 2019. The time is 8 a.m. and 4 p.m. daily. For inquiries, please call +234 816 839 8331 or +234 701 003 6999. Open Heavens Asaba 2019. Grace shall locate you.
You're You're welcome back on Business News now. Falling oil price won't change our production, says NNPC. Nigeria will not alter the production adjustment agreed upon between Organization of Petroleum Exporting Countries and non-OPEC countries, despite recent volatility in the global oil prices, the Nigerian National Petroleum Corporation has said. Members of OPEC and non-OPEC countries at during the last ministerial meeting of what is known as OPEC Plus held on July the 2nd in Vienna, Austria, committed to a declaration of cooperation as regards the volumes of crude oil to be produced by member countries. The global prices of crude have been fluctuating in recent times, falling below and rising above $60 per barrel at various intervals. A development which, according to industry observers, might make some crude exporting countries consider adjusting their production volumes. The NNPC, however, insists that it will stick to the agreed terms of OPEC and urge other countries to do the same. Nigeria's representatives on the OPEC Economic Commission Board and Group Managing Director NNPC, INQUIRY, made this known in a statement issued on Wednesday in Abuja. The statement signed by the OPEC representative said Nigeria was totally committed to full compliance with the agreement reached by the parties to the DOC. The NNPC boss noted that with the increase in the volatility of the oil market, it had become vital for Nigeria and all other parties to the agreement to entrench an attitude of unwavering devotion to the deal anchored on full and timely conformity to their obligations. And next on businesses, the Senate news that Senate frowns on bailout funds for the power sector. The total amount of energy of Nigeria's power grid plunged by 1,669.6 megawatts in one day, as the Senate has kicked against the continuous disbursement of bailout funds by the federal government to power firms. Latest data on the country's grid performance obtained from the system operator of the Transmission Company of Nigeria on Wednesday in Abuja showed that power generation dropped from a high of 4,648.3 megawatts on August 11, 2019 to 2,978.7 megawatts the next day. The power generation for August 12 was, however, the most recent performance update of the national grid published by the TCM. It was further observed that the power generation has hovered around 4,997.7 megawatts and 2,978.7 megawatts since the beginning of August 2019. This came as the Senate declared that it was not in the interest of the government to be disbursing bailout funds to power firms, distributions, companies, in particular, without commensurate improvement in power supply. The Senate President, Ahmed Lawan, disclosed this while playing host to the management team of the TCM in his office in Abuja. The General Manager of Public Affairs, Ndidi Humba, stated that the Senate also expressed displeasure with the report on supervisory control and data acquisition contracts awarded 3 times in the past without success. In response to an inquiry from our correspondent on Wednesday, the TCM stated the Senate called for a more stringent process of awarding contracts that would allow only competent and qualified firms to execute the project. The transmission firm said its managing director, Usman Mohammed, who led his team to the National Assembly, presented a report to the leadership of the Senate on the TCM's achievement in the past 2 years and a half. And now to sports. Liverpool beats Chelsea on penalties. Buhari charges Team Nigeria to win clean medals. And Djokovic advances as Serena pulls out in Cincinnati. Please stay with us. Details comes after the short break.
The at least spiritual action that will provoke heaven's divine reactions about to happen in the city of Dubai, United Arab Emirates. Open Heavens 2019, Apostle Johnson Suleiman, October, expected.
You're welcome back to the sport now. Liverpool beats Chelsea on penalties to win UEFA Super Cup. Standing goalkeeper Hadrian was the hero as his save from Tammy Abraham allowed Liverpool to beat Chelsea 5-4 in penalties and win the UEFA Super Cup on Wednesday after a richly entertaining match in Istanbul, finished 2-2 at the end of extra time. Every penalty in the shootout had been successful before Mohamed Salah stepped up to convert Liverpool's fifth kick at the home of Besiktas. Substitute Abraham then had his effort saved by Hadrian, the summer tiny only playing in the absence of the injured Alisson Becker. It is Liverpool's fourth Super Cup victory, with their last coming in 2005 on the back of the memorable Champions League triumph also in Istanbul. They have now won 13 European trophies overall, and how their supporters would have to come back to the banks of the Bosphorus for the final of the season's Champions League. Sadio Mane had earlier been Liverpool's star, cancelling out Olivier Giroud's first half strike to ensure the match ended 1-1 in 90 minutes, and then putting Jurgen Klopp's team in front of 95 minutes. But it was perhaps inevitable that French referee Stéphane Frappart would play a role in the outcome of the game. The first woman to take charge of a major men's match in the European competition, Frappart gave Chelsea a penalty when Abraham went down under contact from Adrian Jorginho. His name, unfortunately wrongly spelled on the back of his shirt, netted the spotted kick. He also scored in the shootout, but there will be no first trophy as Chelsea coach for Frank Lampard, who lost the Super Cup twice with the club as a player, including the defeat on penalties against Bayern Munich in 2013. It was a painful one for them. Still on sport, Buhari charges Team Nigeria to win clean medals. President Muhammadu Buhari has charged Nigerian contingent to the 12th African Games in Rabat, Morocco, to stay clear of performance-enhancing drugs, urging them to win only clean medals for the country. Buhari, who was represented by the Secretary to the Government of the Federation, Boss Mustafa, during the handing over of the athlete to the National Olympic Committee by the Ministry of Sport, noted that the country would be proud of them even when they fail to win any medal. Then winning medals that will be stripped off because of drug use. He assured them that the federal government is fully committed to the delegation's successful participation in African Games, and we ensure that the welfare of the team is adequately taken care of. He charged all athletes and team officials going to the games to be worthy ambassadors of the country, both on the field of play and outside the sports arena. He then urged them to keep the integrity of the nation intact by competing clean and fair, devoid of any form of doping at the African Games. And still from sport, Djokovic advances as Serena pulls out in Cincinnati. World number one, Novak Djokovic got his U.S. Open to build up off to a smooth start with a straight set win in Cincinnati on Tuesday as back trouble forced Serena Williams to withdraw. Defending champion Djokovic double faulted 3 times as he dropped serve in the opening game against Sam Querrey, but quickly pulled things right and pulled away for a 7-5, 6-1 victory over the American. I handled the match well even if the start was nervy, said Djokovic, who would break Querrey twice to take the first set, then roll up to victory in the first match since beating Roger Federer in the Wimbledon final last month. And that's all we have for you today from News from Celebration TV News Desk. Again, here are the headlines. Omega Farm Ministries International Women's Conference commenced. Bruno donates Bison Forest for Ruga. From the foreign scene, Hong Kong protest. Trump suggests personal meeting with Chinese president. On business, falling oil price won't change our production, says NNPC. And on sport, Liverpool beat Chelsea in penalties to win UEFA Super Cup. Thanks for staying tuned to Celebration TV. You can follow us on all our social media handles. On Facebook, we are Celebration TV. On Twitter, it's @MyCelebrationTV. And on Instagram, MyCelebrationTV. And on YouTube, it is www.youtube.com/Celebration TV. Thanks for staying tuned and have a wonderful time. Bye for now. I'm Femi Marks.
To 15.7 trillion naira at the end of December 2018.
Senior Democrats have responded by accusing him of committing a gross offense.
The All Progressives Congress has vowed to punish the Ogun State Governor, Ibikule Amoso.